Hey, you might consider today's call together here as graduation. We have arrived at key number 21 in my 21 keys to leadership success. All right, I hope you're having an awesome day. Now, before I dive in, make sure you go to AnnSiegMentor.com to have ongoing engagement with me in my private leadership community, including we go over leadership books every month. And sometimes we have the author in there as well. So make sure you go to AnnSiegMentor.com. All right, like I say, it's graduation time. So becoming a person of influence, that is the ultimate as a leader. Now we know, of course, having influence on people or impact, it can be for good or it can be for evil. So we are talking about good. That's where we're focused, is for good. So what does that look like when it's for good and not evil? Well, what are your results for serving people? How are you serving them? How are you taking them on to the next level? A level they might not had reached or achieved had it not been for you and your leadership. That's how we define it. How many people are you lifting onto the next level, up to the next level? As Jim Rohn says, the great late Jim Rohn, service leads to greatness. Service leads to greatness. So how are you improving people's lives? For whatever you're doing as an entrepreneur, if you're improving people's financial lives, their physical, their mental, their health, whatever it is. If you are a product service provider, are you improving their lives through the products that you have? Or in service, you're good. You may be, for example, we had an automotive industry, or business I should say, for 12 years, and my husband was replacing their windshield, and he had a very, very clear concept of his work. He was a craftsman. There are people who would put in their windshields where he would be taking out the old windshield, and he would tell me the horror stories. He said they didn't even use any urethane in, and what would happen? That car would get rusted out, and then there'd be all this rust repair where that very poor service provider would leave a mess for the owner of the car, and then for the person who then would do the next windshield replacement. There are a lot of problems, whereas my husband took pride in doing a quality job because he was focused on repetition, that people would call him again for their next windshield, and in fact they did. They called us customers, loyal customers, for years after we closed down our windshield business because of the quality of workmanship that Brian did. He wasn't so much about volume, he was concerned about quality, okay? So that's great service, and it did lead to greatness relative to people. They were actually disappointed that it wasn't him, because it was also, my husband was highly relational in these, when he would come to people's homes to service them, and he'd be friendly, and just people liked him. And also he worked in the service aisles of many of the car dealerships. But anyways, so how many people are you serving to help take them up to the next level? That's how you create influence, because good service leads to word of mouth and referrals. And that's what influence is. And influence is also inspiring that person that you're serving, that they will want to do better in their lives as a result of your impact upon them. So as you lead as a person of influence, lead with gratitude. In everything, give thanks. So just yesterday, I was getting some help for one of my staff members, and I got someone who was an expert relative to what she was wanting to accomplish. And I have a very, very good friendship with this person. And what do you know? He offered us this amazing deal because I had this super strong relationship with him. We say, yeah, love you too. I mean, that's how strong it is. And that he gives us this amazing deal. And I just clap my hands together in prayer somewhat, going, thank you so much. It's really, as a person who is following someone else where they're leading you, give thanks. Thank them for their service. Thank them for their leadership. And that was the case with this gentleman. He's very, very, very skilled, like top dog. And I knew how wonderful it was to have this special time with him, and that he then opened up and gave us this pretty amazing offer that, he wants to have he practically picked up a vision for my company and what he wants to do with us as he mentors us. And I think it's because of the relationship I had with him. So I've been very grateful for that friendship. And when you do that, you're likely to get more out of people in that way. So influence and service first, the money follows afterwards. If it's all money centric, and I'm mentioning this because we're all entrepreneurs here, is the money centric. Here's another great example. Listen carefully. So I'm an online digital marketer, right? And someone was sharing with me when they were in someone else's digital course and what it was like to leave as a customer. And it was this whole big, huge email campaign that was basically got to the level of insulting the person for leaving their program. And it just went on and on. It was almost like a trapdoor. You couldn't get out just to cancel or ask for a refund. Ours is very simple. I'm going to treat my people exactly the way I want to be treated. No, it's no questions asked refund. I don't want to be hassled. Are you kidding me? Like, if one guy, it was you had to call him on Skype to get a refund. I'm like, are you kidding me? And here's what it tells me. They are not in it for the long play. I've been doing this 15 years. I'm in it for the long play, and my attitude is always, if I treat people right, they'll come back. Because maybe that particular program didn't suit them for whatever reason. It's all good. We'll let them go gracefully. They'll come back. Maybe they won't. Who cares? It's about treating people right. They do remember these things. They don't want to be arm twisted. So, influence and service first, then the money will follow. Ditch titles. Don't be all about, I am the big cheese. All right? Because that leads to an entitlement mentality. People who want like people to revere them and all this kind of stuff. No. Or, I'm the big cheese, therefore, and they push their weight around as the big cheese. Forget about it. Nobody cares about your title. They care about what you can do for them. That's what they care about. WIFM. Y'all know what WIFM is, right? WIFM. What's in it for me? Your title? That's not what's in it for me. What are you going to do for me? That's all they care about. So that's where we need to keep our focus in order to become a person of influence. So what I want to encourage you, again, make sure you go to AnnSiegMentor.com to join my private leadership community, engage with us. We do far more training inside my group, including going through leadership books together on a monthly basis. All right, so go to AnnSiegMentor.com. Now here's what I encourage you to do. If you're just coming into this series, you will find all of these. Actually, what happened is Facebook deleted about 2 weeks worth, so I have to go back and redo them, but I'll get them all back. And that being the entire leadership series, all 21 keys. I've got a separate training video on each. Go through those, kind of grade yourself on where you think you could improve. And that is if you truly desire to be a person of impact as a leader, both in your business, to your staff, your team, your community, to your family, to the world. Okay, I never thought I would touch 500,000 people's lives. Never dreamed of it. I was not at anything I was planning for, but there you have it. You never know, and that's just of the people I know. The ripple effect is probably very likely millions from those people then how I impacted their lives. So how can you impact people? Go through my 21 keys. We're culminating here in becoming a person of influence. Lead with gratitude, lead with service. All right, till then, thank you so much for being a part of this series. If you're watching the replay, write in #replay and leave any comments. I would love to read them. Thanks so much. God bless. Talk to you soon.